Hey, what's up, studs? Ryan here, or MandRproductions, and today we have pictures of all the new, well, not all of them, but most of the new 2020 LEGO Star Wars sets, and these are in incredible quality, guys. If you guys enjoyed the video, make sure you leave a like on it, subscribe to the channel if you're new here. I will at some point have reviews of all of these sets when I am able to get them, and let me know what you think about these sets in the comments section below. We're gonna get started with the 75263 Ywing Microfighter. It's 86 pieces. It'll retail for $10 in the United States. Our minifigure is Zori Bliss, who is also in the Resistance Ywing from the October 2019 wave, so it's not an exclusive figure, but it is nice that you're going to be able to get this figure in such a cheap set, because I think it's really a great figure. The Ywing itself resembles the one that we just got. It's got the red color highlights, and you also have some flick fire missiles on top. You have the turret on top as well, which you can rotate. Overall, a pretty nice looking Ywing Microfighter, and a nice second Ywing Microfighter, given that we've had a yellow one back in 2016 or 17, I believe, so it's nice to see this updated and upgraded. Our second Microfighter is going to be the Kylo Ren Shuttle Microfighter. This one is also going to be $10 in the United States. It's going to have 72 pieces, and it looks very clean. It also does include Kylo Ren, thankfully, unlike Director Krennic's Shuttle Microfighter, where they didn't include Director Krennic. This one does, in fact, include Kylo Ren. It's got some stud shooters on the sides of the wings. The wings look like they can fold out, and they can go back up to a unfolded position when it's in a landed position. So a very awesome little feature set for this little Microfighter. You have engines in the back and stuff. So for $10, I think this one's going to be very popular. This might be one of the most popular Microfighters of the last few years. With 198 pieces and a set number of 75265, we have the T-16 Skyhopper versus Bantha Microfighters. And the T-16 Skyhopper honestly looks a lot better than I was expecting, and the Bantha looks a lot weirder than I was expecting. I don't know if weird means bad in this case, but it definitely looks weirder. Our two figures are a T-16 Skyhopper pilot and a Tusken Raider. Pretty simple there. The Bantha does not actually have any features, like it doesn't shoot anything, much like the dewback of last year, but you can have the Tusken Raider ride it and hit the T-16 Skyhopper with his stick, I guess, which is kind of cool. $20 if I didn't say the price yet. You can also put the T-16 Skyhopper pilot in the T-16 Skyhopper to kind of complete the design of it. I guess it looks weird when it's empty, but I think this will be a great set for original trilogy lovers. Also of note, the box art is returning from 2019. We're keeping with the white style brick greebled box art, and then the black style for the episode 9 sets, which I'm fine with. I didn't think they really needed to update the box art. I really liked what they had. They can stick with it for a few years. That's okay. We have one of the two battle pack pictures here, the 75266 Sith Troopers battle pack. This one's going to include 105 pieces, and it includes 4 minifigures, as you would expect. $15 in the United States. As far as the build goes, it looks like we're getting what is essentially a first order Snowspeeder, but with some slight modifications, obviously smaller, and a nice accent of one of the blue colors that LEGO makes. I think that actually looks really spiffy. You get a couple of Jet Sith Troopers, which I didn't know existed, but now we have 2 in a set, in a battle pack of all things, which is really great. The Sith Trooper, obviously, which was previously only in Kylo Ren Shuttle, will now come in this set, and then you get some type of First Order or Sith Officer, which is going to be a great addition to your collection. I think this is a solid battle pack, given that you only get one type of officer minifigure. The rest are like actual clone type troopers. Now, set 75267 is the Mandalorian battle pack with 102 pieces, and we unfortunately do not have images of it. Some of the rumors I've heard is that it will only have one Mandalorian, I assume possibly being the Mandalorian, but we don't know yet. So as soon as pictures of that arise, I will show them to you, don't worry. Our next set is the 75268 Snowspeeder for ages 4 and up. It's like the junior Snowspeeder, 91 pieces, and this one is like good and bad. All right, like for a 4-year-old, I think this is passable. The Snowspeeder to me is laughable. I think they learned from last year when they changed the cockpit on the X-Wing. However, this looks ridiculous. I think we can all agree. This is $20, and I'll probably buy it, but that's only to review it for you guys. This is not one that is particularly appealing to me. I will say, though, for younger kids, this might actually be pretty dang good. You get a Wedge Antilles and Snowtrooper minifigure, and as far as the Snowtrooper is concerned, he actually has a pretty nice looking speeder bike, even though it's a really dumbed down design. And the Hoth dish turret is actually pretty nice too. You can actually shoot or pretend shoot the Hoth dish turret, and there's a little disc shooter included underneath it, so that's actually a nice little hidden feature there. And they add a little bit of scenery with the nice ice piece there to the right of the dish turret. So this is definitely a weird set. This is not one that a lot of adult collectors are going to be interested in, myself included. But yeah, moving on. One of the more exciting sets of the year so far for a lot of people with 208 pieces. It's the Duel on Mustafar set 75269, and this one's going to be $20 in the United States. And I'm actually quite happy with the build in this set. I didn't think it was going to look this good. You of course get Anakin and Obi-Wan minifigures, which look great and all. You get a couple of the hovering Mustafar droids, which is great, so you can have Anakin and Obi-Wan flying around on them. You have the falling little beam thing that is on fire, which is really awesome as well, so you can have them fighting on that as it falls down. You have some studs of lava that you can have shoot out and at them, which is just incredible. Like, this set actually is pretty feature packed, surprisingly. And of course you can display it in quite a few different ways because it's on a hinge, just like the Rey vs. Kylo Ren set last year. I can see this being a standard set every year, some type of lightsaber battle. So I'm excited to see what they might bring in 2021. I know it's not even 2020 yet, but this is a really cool set. I think a lot of people are really going to want this for these exclusive Anakin and Obi-Wan minifigs with their ripped up torsos and everything. It's been 15 years since the first Anakin vs. Obi-Wan set, and this is our second rendition of it. I guess I'm going to have to rebuild the original one that I have so that I can compare them. Moving on, we have the 75270 ObiWan's Hut with 200 pieces. This one's going to be $30 in the US. We've talked about this one a little bit before, but it's got Luke Skywalker, Obi-Wan Kenobi, R2-D2, and a Tusken Raider. We now have the box art and everything, which is great. It looks actually really clean on the box art. You can see all the figures that fit in the interior. You can see R2-D2 and the hologram Princess Leia. A lot of cool little fun interior details and little accessories that are in there. I'm sure some of you guys will be able to pick out exactly what a lot of that stuff is better than me. You get the Jedi training droid as well that shoots all the blaster bullets for you to block and such. I'm very happy with this set. I think it actually is a pretty cool looking one. They've done a decent job putting together Obi-Wan's Hut. A lot of people might be disappointed with this for the price, but if you find it on sale, it might not be too bad. Next up is the egregiously overpriced 75271 Luke's Landspeeder with 236 pieces. Don't know where all those pieces are packed in. It's going to be $30 in the United States, and the box art for it actually looks pretty clean. You get a Jawa and a little place where the Jawa is hiding, and then you only get two figures for the actual Landspeeder, Luke Skywalker, and C-3PO there. The Landspeeder does look pretty sleek. It's pretty jacked up compared to some previous renditions. They did away with what they had been using for years with the tubular pieces around the front end of Luke's Landspeeder, and they went with stickers instead. Kind of an interesting design. Also, the top front hood is a little bit recessed off of that, so I'm kind of interested to see how exactly they did this design, but generally it looks more or less the same as some previous Luke's Landspeeders, and I think that's what's getting a lot of people hung up. I don't think this is going to be a bad set by any stretch of the imagination, but for people that already have one of the last 2 or 3 Luke's Landspeeders, this one might just not be for you. Back into episode 9 sets now for $80 with 470 pieces. We have the Sith TIE Fighter set 75272, and this is a crazy looking ship. I'm actually worried about how this is going to display. Oh, it has a stand. Okay, I didn't see that picture yet. I'm sorry. Okay, so yeah, I was thinking that since the shape of the wings was triangular, Dorito Fighter, that when you went to set this down on your shelf, it would just lean forward. But it comes with a neat little stand, so that's great. We get a First Order TIE Pilot, we get a Knight of Ren, and we get Finn. I think this Finn is the same one we might have saw in some earlier episode 9 sets. The actual build itself, though, is beautiful. I mean, this thing has some very nice red, light gray accents on top of the black color scheme of the wings, and then the cockpit piece is new. You have this new print on it, at least. The top piece is like a regular TIE Fighter cockpit piece, which I think they put on backwards in that picture. Usually it's on the other way. The TIE Fighter can easily be placed onto and taken off of its stand. That Knight of Ren is looking pretty dang scary there. I think that's a new Knight of Ren, so that's going to be another one for the collection. I think we're just missing a few more. They had 2 in Kylo Ren Shuttle, so that's 3 now. But this is one I'm definitely excited to add to my TIE Fighter collection. This thing is a beast, but $80 for 470 pieces is undoubtedly going to drive a lot of people away from this set. Moving on, we have the 75273 Poes XWing Starfighter. We've had Poes XWing Starfighter before. Well, this one's in a new color. 761 pieces for $90. So the X-Wings, after the last 3 X-Wings were $80, are now $90. Thank you, LEGO, for making them more expensive again. I will say this one looks a little bit weird with the bigger engine circular pieces. I guess they wanted to differentiate this somehow other than the color, so I guess that's what they went for. But this thing is a very weird color mashup. I think the light blue is what really throws it off for me. The orange and the white looks good. The grays kind of mixed in are all right, but they went with that one extra color, and I think it might have been a little bit too much for me personally. You get Poe Dameron, you get the Janna figure, you get another Knight of Ren, and R2-D2. So decent figure selection. That Knight of Ren is going to be a big draw for these last 2 sets. You have a little ladder to let your pilot climb up and into the ship. Poe Dameron comes with the regular Resistance pilot helmet that he's always had, I think. Other than the one extra color, in my opinion, the X-Wing does look stunningly good. Like, the orange really pops on this X-Wing, I'm not gonna lie. You have a couple of spring-loaded shooters. You can lower R2-D2 into the X-Wing. You can have the wings flip out into the X position or attack position. You have the landing gear on the bottom, which we've seen before. Nothing really new about this set other than the color, but it's something that might get some people excited, myself included. So that is all we have now for the January 2020 LEGO Star Wars sets. Of course, there will be more LEGO Star Wars sets coming out in 2020. I think there are sets coming out in April or May again, so it's kind of weird. We're getting one of those April-May waves again. So make sure you stay tuned on the channel for more information on that. I will definitely keep you guys up to date, assuming Kappa doesn't destroy me. Thank you all for watching, and I'll see you on the next one. Peace out.